Alright, this is Walshy Fire, representing Major Lazer Sound, Black Chiney Sound. Selector for about 16 years, DJ, soundman. Jamaican music is probably the only music in the world that the entire world knows. You can go anywhere in the world, any corner, and you're gonna hear somebody say, they know what reggae is, you know? Also, we're probably the only music that really spawned a worldwide religion, you know, Rastafarianism. And that's why I said the music has such a strong message, you know, it's such a strong music, it's such a strong message that, you know, you can have something like a global religious movement just off of music, you know. If you don't have the right sound, you don't have the right voice. And if you don't have the right voice, nobody's gonna listen. You understand? So if you go a dance now, really and truly, so when you go dancehall, you know, dancehall is like CNN. You know, you get everything while go on. And if your sound system now, it's like if you watch CNN and the channel is just fuzzy, you're not gonna watch it because it not project right. Sound system is the same thing, man. The sound system have to be bass heavy, it have to be top heavy, it have to be clear, it have to be strong. You can't get distracted. When you go dance, you don't want me and you sit down and talk. No. Me and you go dance, me and go enjoy with the selector say, I go enjoy the music. We not come next off the talk, we can go in at the car park and talk. You know. So the sound system, the actual system is number one most important. After that, everything else comes. I'd love to dig, I'd love to find a record, I'd love to have something where nobody else couldn't have, which is, you know, you lost that. But at the same time, though, I can create something that nobody don't have. They might have to go figure out how to create it now. So it's good and bad, but at the same time, we don't really want to look on the body now because everything must evolve, and music is just an evolution, just like everything else, and we've embraced that evolution and we love that evolution, and we just want to make sure so we maintain, you know, because when you come on a Major Lazer show, you come on Black Chiney show, you're going to hear everything where you don't hear. You're going to hear one bugger sitting where you don't hear anyone else play. And everyone else has that same opportunity to make music or make unique things or make people say, yo, that was mad. Not everybody does though, and that's at their own downfall.
Well, the sound system is the foundation of Jamaican music on a level, you know, because that was one of the only ways where people used to be able to hear the music back in the day. Used to go to dance parties. I hear about Merritone, that's one of the oldest sound systems I know, and that's also my family. So to see something coming from so far, you know what I mean, like the sound systems being in Jamaica, like Stone Love, Bass Odyssey, these are like the guys who helped build the thing, you know what I mean? So to see where it's coming from, you know what I mean? We Jamaicans are still doing the same things we used to do back, you know, before independence or wherever, go dance party, listen to rock and roll music. It's just now evolved to the point where we have our own music over these years, whether it's ska, mento, you know, all these kind of things. It's evolved into rocksteady, reggae, these kind of things. So now it's like a logical transition. So to have the sound systems and everything like put all together is what helps drive the music. You know, we Jamaicans party all week long. If it wasn't for the sound systems, we wouldn't have anything to listen to.
Without the sound system, there would be this thing called Jamaican music would not exist. Because at the time when it came on, the record stations were not very, very, very happy with the product, and were not giving it the time of their lives. So it is a sound system that has and still is the vehicle for the Jamaican music industry. And ask most of the stars that have come out and that are now enjoying and that are now having super careers, they have to thank the sound system for their arrival and for persisting and giving them a platform where everybody is closed the door in their face. The sound system has to be definitely elevated to a level of in the nation where we do actually really thank the sound system for what we now have and enjoy as Jamaican culture, Jamaican music. I'm Winston Blake, Merritone Music, Kingston, Jamaica. First of all, when we started playing music, which was in the 1950s, 1950 to be exact, the latter part of 1950, there was no Jamaican music. It was strictly American rhythm and blues and mental. And the music that we danced to a lot also was in the form of swing, which was a kind of a jazz. Because jazz in those days was swing music, which was dance music. When it became bebop in the 40s, late 40s, then it became something that people started to listen to. But jazz, when we started out in the early 50s, like my father's parties, a lot of jazz, swing music, Glenn Miller, Tex Beneke, I mean, a lot of swinging music, it was jazz. So it started, for us, we got into the sound system business in the 1950s. The sound system came about because out of sheer economics also. It was an era of bands, and it was an era in most of the parishes that had sugar estates, that the sugar estates ran the economy of the parish. And the sugar estates would have dances that would involve bands. And there were cricket clubs. Cricket was a big thing then, big thing. And so the cricket clubs with the sugar estates, they would have these cricket matches, they would have these dances. And then there, in every club, there was an elite club that was more for the upper middle class, upper class, gentry. And they would have special events where they would import bands from Kingston to play at these clubs. But the ordinary man in the street couldn't go to those dances, you know. And so basically, what used to be the entertainment for the ordinary average person was 9 nights. 9 nights was a big event. You wanted a 9 night to go on forever because you could get excuse to leave your house. You could go there, you sing, you eat, you dance, music. Usually it was drumming, like in St. Thomas, it was drumming, out of drumming, singing, you know, Pocomania, different things. The other things were the churches had fairs. And the Anglican Church, they stage a fair at Easter, they stage a fair at Christmas. So that was the general entertainment in the parish for the average person. Well, after a while, the bands, it was getting more and more difficult to get bands because to maintain a band is a lot of work. So as the bands became scarcer and scarcer, and then, for small little functions in the village, we'd have mentor bands, little mentor bands. Or what came in then to replace mentor bands to some extent was jukeboxes. Jukebox was a big thing in terms of Saturday night entertainment. People would gather on the jukebox and you would punch your tunes. And people who had bars would probably put a little lawn in the back, put the jukebox on a lawn, and people would go there on Saturday night, punch some music, and dance. That was the entertainment in parishes. Then based on that concept of the jukebox, somehow the sound system came. Speakers, amplifier, and speakers, and records. In those days it was 78 records, the big records that played on 78 RPMs. And I remember when we were in town, that's how we came in contact with the sound system for the first time. Because we lived over the Agba Park Road, and to get to KC we had to walk to Chisholm Avenue. We take a bus called the Crosstown bus, which is number 27, which would take us from Chisholm Avenue to Crossroads. Then we'd take the 22 from Crossroads down to North Street. And I would come off from Morrison and my brother would go to KC. And we'd take the same route back home. So right now where the Mothers in Crossroads, where the Mothers is, was a restaurant called Chiney's, which was owned by a Chinaman named Mr. Chin. And he had a sound system. As a matter of fact, the first sound system that I came in contact with was Mr. Chin, because he was always playing music in the restaurant. So we always, because we were out of a musical family, because when we grew up, we always had a gramophone, we always had music, and we always had records in the house. So we were musically inclined. So when we hear Mr. Chin, we would miss a bus or two and go with Mr. Chin and just play these records. So Mr. Chin always took note of us that we were always in the shop listening to music. So he always said to us, since you guys like this thing so much, why don't you tell your father to start this thing? This thing is still just taking root in Kingston. Tell your father to start one. And when we came out the shop, we would laugh and say, listen, here our father is busting his jobs to give us education. And we go tell him about sound system and music. He must say, where are you going? Sound system, or are you going to school? So we just forget the idea. So when our old man called us and said, listen, come up with some ideas, we just nudge each other, myself and my brother, and said, well, no, we're going to burst the news about the sound system. But we couldn't do it, we couldn't act like we knew too much at the time when he asked us. So Dad, we're going to do some research. So we took about 2 weeks. I said, Dad, we did some research. And now we're going to tell about the sound system. So we told him this new phenomenon that was coming in Kingston called the sound system, which is amplifier, speaker boxes, and records. We had a lot of records already, so that was the least of our problems. You had to get more. And we had to get a source that got a special type of record because it needed these blues. And what we collected was just for like home purposes, but there was a special type of record that was being played in the dances. So we made contacts on how to get those. And we said, Dad, we will take care of the record business because we know where to research and where to get records. But you will have to look about that part if you're interested. And he listened, never said a word to us. And one day he was just missing from the country. And when he came back, we see him come back with the car full of things. And we said, Dad, what's that? And he said, pick it, take them out. And when we went to the car, there was a Philips 20-watt amplifier. A Philips 20-watt amplifier that could play both on battery and electric. And there were two little speakers, 12-inch speakers. And garage turntable. I think I still have the garage turntable somewhere in the house here. Or did I give it to the museum? I might have given it to the museum. And that's how Merritone was born.